Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to another heartfelt episode on English Channel. I'm Rim, and I'm so thrilled to have you here today. We're about to dive into an inspiring story that's touched millions of hearts around the world. The story behind Harry Potter, a magical tale that changed lives, including mine. I still remember the first time I held a Harry Potter book in my hands. I was 15, sitting in my small room, the air smelling of rain and old paper. The book's cover was faded, its pages soft from being loved by so many hands before mine. I'd saved up for weeks to buy it, and as I turned the pages, I felt like I was stepping into a world where anything was possible. That book became my escape when I struggled with English, when I couldn't pronounce words like magic or adventure. I'd read late at night, my lamp flickering, whispering Hogwarts, like it was a secret just for me. But this story isn't just about magic. It's about the woman who created it, J.K. Rowling, and her incredible journey from darkness to light. Have you ever felt like you're not good enough? Like every step forward pushes you 2 steps back? I've been there. I remember failing an English test so badly I hid in my room, tears staining my notebook, thinking I'd never speak fluently. I wanted to give up, to stop dreaming of telling stories in English. But then I learned about Rowling's life, and it was like a quiet voice in my heart saying, "You can do this." Her journey showed me that even in our hardest moments, there's a spark waiting to grow into a flame. I keep that Harry Potter book on my shelf even now, its spine cracked, but precious, a reminder of how stories can lift us up. Today, I want to share this journey with you, not just to tell you about Harry Potter, but to show you that you too have a magic inside you. You might be learning English, chasing a dream, or facing a challenge, but you're stronger than you know. So grab a cozy blanket, maybe a warm drink, and let's walk this path together. Let the words sink in, let them inspire you, and let's see how a single story can light up your world. Let's start at the very beginning, long before the world knew Harry Potter. Joanne Rowling, the creator of this magical universe, was born on July 31st, 1965, in a small town called Yate, in England. She didn't grow up with wealth or fame. Her family lived in a modest house with a little garden where she'd spend hours lost in her imagination. As a child, Joanne loved stories. She'd sit under an old oak tree, her tiny hands holding a pencil, writing tales about rabbits who could talk and worlds where magic was real. I can almost see her there, her hair messy from the wind, her knees stained with grass, dreaming of things no one else could see. It reminds me of my own childhood, sitting by a dusty window in my grandmother's house, scribbling in a notebook about flying kites and talking cats. I'd dream of being a writer, hoping someone would read my stories one day. But for Rowling, life wasn't a fairy tale. She grew up, studied French at university, and kept her love for writing alive, even when no one believed in her. After school, she moved to Portugal, fell in love, got married, and had a daughter named Jessica. For a brief moment, it seemed like her life was falling into place, but then everything broke apart. Her marriage ended, leaving her a single mom with no job, no money, and a baby to care for. She moved to Edinburgh, Scotland, living in a tiny apartment on welfare. I know that kind of struggle. I remember a month when I couldn't pay my bills, holding my last coin, wondering how I'd eat the next day. Rowling's pain feels so close to that memory. She'd walk the cold streets of Edinburgh, pushing Jessica's stroller, her mind heavy with depression. Some days she felt so hopeless she thought of giving up, not just on her dreams, but on life itself. Yet she found a small refuge in a cafe called Nicholson's. She'd sit there for hours, sipping one coffee to stay warm, writing Harry Potter on napkins while Jessica slept beside her. I can picture her, the steam rising from her cup, the scratch of her pen, the soft hum of voices around her. It's such a quiet moment, a mother writing in a cafe, but it held everything. That image whispers to me that even in the darkest times, a story can keep you going. I think of the nights I'd sit alone, practicing English phrases, my voice shaky but determined to get better. Rowling's struggle isn't just hers, it's ours too. Have you ever held on to something small when everything else felt lost? Maybe a dream, a memory, a hope? For Rowling, it was her story, and it became her light in the darkness. Now let's move to the part of the story that truly tested Rowling's spirit, the moment she faced rejection after rejection. By 1995, she had finished the first Harry Potter manuscript, a story that held all her hopes, her pain, and her dreams. It was her way of turning darkness into something beautiful, a world where a boy could find magic even in the hardest times. But getting it published was a battle she never expected. She sent her manuscript to 12 publishers one by one, and each time the answer was a cold no. One letter said, "Children's books this long won't sell." Another called it too complicated for kids. I can almost hear the sound of those letters arriving, her heart pounding as she tore open each envelope, only to feel her hope fade. I know that sting so well. I once wrote a short story in English, pouring my heart into every word, and sent it to a contest. I'd spent weeks rewriting it, staying up late, dreaming of winning. But the reply came, a simple "try again." I sat on my bed, staring at the email, tears blurring my eyes, feeling like I'd never be good enough to write or speak in English. Rowling must have felt that too, but she didn't let it stop her. She kept going, typing on an old typewriter in her tiny apartment, the clack-clack of the keys echoing through the quiet night. I can imagine that sound, the rhythm of her determination. Each key a small act of courage against the world's doubts. It reminds me of my late-night English lessons, sitting alone with a dictionary, my voice stumbling over words like believe and strength. I'd whisper them to myself, hoping one day they'd feel real. For Rowling, every rejection was a challenge, not a defeat. She'd sit at her desk, her fingers tired, but her heart steady, telling herself, this story deserves to be told. And then, after 12 no's, a yes finally came. Bloomsbury, a small publisher, decided to take a chance. Not because of Rowling, but because an editor's daughter read the first chapter and begged for more. That little girl's excitement was the spark that lit the fire. In 1997, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published, with a tiny print run of just 500 copies. I remember the first time I saw a Harry Potter book in a library. It was like finding a hidden gem. Its cover faded but glowing with promise. Within a few years, the book exploded into a global phenomenon, selling millions of copies, translated into dozens of languages. Rowling's persistence had paid off, but it wasn't luck, it was grit. I think of the times I kept practicing English, even after failing, because I wanted to speak without fear. Rowling's journey mirrors that struggle. Each no was a teacher, not a wall. Have you ever turned a rejection into a lesson? Maybe a bad grade, a lost chance, a dream that felt too far? Rowling shows us that every closed door is just a detour to something greater. The rise of Harry Potter was nothing short of magical, and it all came from Rowling's unwavering belief in her story. From those first 500 copies in 1997, Harry Potter became a global sensation, selling over 500 million books worldwide, translated into 80 languages. It wasn't just a book anymore. It turned into blockbuster movies, theme parks, and a cultural legacy that defined a generation. Rowling went from a single mom struggling to survive to the world's first billionaire author, her name lighting up headlines everywhere. I still remember the first time I saw a Harry Potter movie poster at a bus stop. It was like the world was shouting, "Dreams can come true." But for me, it wasn't just her success that mattered. It was what she did with it. She founded Lumos, a charity to help orphan children find families, turning her wealth into hope for others. I think of the time I donated a few dollars to a local school, feeling small but proud, knowing every little act can make a difference. Her kindness reminds me of the warmth I felt when a stranger helped me with my English pronunciation. A small gesture that meant so much. What makes Harry Potter even more special for us is how it can help us learn English. I started reading the books as a beginner, struggling with every sentence. But the magic of the story kept me going. I learned words like wand, Quidditch, and muggle, and each one felt like a tiny victory. I'd sit on my balcony, the morning sun warm on my face, turning pages slowly, feeling my English grow with every chapter. You can do that too. Pick up Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Start with just a page a day and let the story teach you. The words are simple, the tale is enchanting, and before you know it, you'll be speaking with more confidence. Or try writing your own story, like I did after reading her books. I'd sit at my desk on rainy afternoons, the sound of rain tapping the window, writing about a girl who could talk to stars. It wasn't perfect, but it healed me, just like Rowling's writing healed her. Writing can be your escape too. Grab a notebook, write about your day, your dreams, your fears. It's not about being perfect, it's about letting your heart speak. Rowling's journey shows us that creativity isn't just for authors, it's for all of us. I still keep a journal, scribbling thoughts when I'm sad. And it feels like magic every time. What if you tried reading or writing this week? Maybe a page of Harry Potter, or a few lines about your life. Share with me in the comments. Did it feel like a step forward? Harry Potter isn't just a story. It's a lesson that we can create, learn, and grow, no matter where we start. As we come to the end of this beautiful journey, I feel a warmth in my heart, thinking about the incredible story behind Harry Potter. It's not just about a boy wizard. It's about J.K. Rowling, a woman who turned pain into purpose, rejection into resilience, and a cafe napkin into a legacy that changed the world. I can almost see her now, maybe sitting quietly in a garden somewhere, a cup of tea in hand, writing again, her pen scratching softly on paper. That image makes me smile. It's a reminder that the greatest stories often come from the quietest moments. I've had my own quiet victories, thanks to Harry Potter. I remember a morning I woke up, still shaky from a bad day. An English presentation had gone terribly, my words jumbled, my cheeks burning with embarrassment. But I opened Harry Potter, read a line about courage, and felt a little braver. I went back the next day, tried again, and spoke a bit clearer. Those small moments, the sound of rain outside, the turn of a page, the whisper of a new word, they build us up. Rowling's life teaches us that failure isn't the end. It's a whisper to keep going, a nudge to believe in ourselves even when no one else does. I think about the times I doubted myself, sitting alone with my English books, wondering if I'd ever get better. But her story pushed me forward, just like I hope it pushes you. You don't need to write a bestseller to shine. You can start with a single step, like speaking English more confidently, or writing a sentence that makes you proud. I still keep a worn copy of Harry Potter on my shelf, its pages dog-eared, a reminder of how far I've come. What keeps you going? Maybe it's a book, a song, a memory of someone who believed in you. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Tell me about a time you felt that spark of hope, a moment that made you try again. If this story touched you, if it gave you a flicker of courage, then let's keep growing together. Hit that subscribe button. Join our English Avenue family. We're here to share more stories, more lessons, more dreams. I feel your presence as I speak, and it means the world to me. Imagine if we all took one small step today. Maybe reading a page, writing a line, or speaking a new word. What could that lead to? Rowling didn't need magic to change her life. She needed belief, persistence, and a story. You have that in you too. Thank you for listening, for being here with me. Keep shining, keep learning, and let's rise together tomorrow.